This is Campson. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Look, if you ain't doing good, that's all right. You just stick with me. If you're new here, I'm Campson the Oracle. If you were day one, if you've been true here for a little while, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So I'm going to be sharing the intuitive update for the energy that's happening right now, and I consider myself to be an ascension specialist. I'm telling you, when you learn how to detach and observe and ride the waves of these experiences, you experience more joy, but maybe nothing has changed. And you might question whether or not you are losing your mind. You might walk away from an argument and now you're singing like nothing has happened. And you're like, wait a minute. I don't usually do that. Am I bypassing that I just had this disagreement? Like, what's happening here? Am I ignoring my feelings? And it could be. But with this energy coming in, we are learning how to work with those emotions. See, this is what I have learned in my experience with many traumas, big T and little t. I chose a very karmic journey, okay? And I have cleared that debt. I'm claiming this now. You should too. It would benefit you. Not should. We're editing in real time. It would benefit you. But when you are experiencing intense emotions of any sort, the goal is to refrain from judging whatever is happening. And I know y'all like Campson, that is easier said than done. And yes, that may be true, but it is doable. Okay? There's a very Virgo energy coming in, and it's calling for us to learn how to ground. What if I told you that thoughts, when they are not being supervised, create emotions that also may not be supervised? You may not be choosing those emotions based on what's best for your health, best for your mind, best for your dreams, your projects, your business. We're learning how to do this. This is so important. I really need y'all to really hear this with your heart. Once we, as a collective, start to say, you know what? I don't have to remove every negative vibration from my environment. I can actually ground myself in the eye of the storm and learn how to be okay. And the image that was coming to me, because I got swept up in emotions, let me tell you, and I was not okay. And that's okay too. But I know in my heart, I want to learn how to sit in the pathway of fire, to walk through the valleys of shadows of death. And it brings no fear to me, because I know that no harm can come to me. Nothing can happen to me that's going to stop me from doing what I was put here to do, from being who I am becoming. This is the new conversation for us to have with ourselves. It's like, okay, you might have stepped in the line of fire. You might even been the one that's fired the first shot. Okay? You might have even threw some rocks in a glass house. Let's not pretend like it doesn't happen. It does. But what happens is you become the eye of the storm, in the storm. Instead of trying to take cover, hide, run. I'm talking about the stuff you just can't get away from. Just ground yourself. Now I'm going to tell you a way that you can do this. Y'all know me. I'm going to tell y'all a couple of ways that you can do this. In the middle of that moment, whatever is occurring, whatever it is that's not feeling good, it may involve other people or another person. It may just be you and some things that Chiron is bringing up in the wounded healers to be addressed. That could be the case. If that's happening, the more intense that emotion is, the more you get die hard about loving you, the more you get compassionate. See, there's a pendulum swing in the laws of the universe. And when the pendulum swings all the way the other way, when it gets real difficult sometimes in the journey of spiritually awakening, when what you're observing, maybe you're noticing some things got to change. I'm going to be making some new decisions. I'm going to be letting some things go. That means that I am not going to be able to use my maladaptive coping mechanism of trying to control everything happening around me and in me. I'm just going to focus on controlling my breath. Now, as an empath and a highly sensitive person, when there are intense emotions occurring, I can sense my chest closing, my shoulders tightening, my hips tightening, my breath gets shallow. I start to breathe faster. I start to sweat. Sometimes I just start to feel this heat moving through me. Sometimes it feels like an out-of-body experience where whatever is happening outside of me is just distorted. And time really isn't moving the same. Sometimes I'm so shocked at some of the things that happen and come up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I was not expecting this, but I'm equipped. What do I have? Well, I have the breath of the universe within me. I have the energy that creates stars within me. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to take a breath. And each time I breathe, I'm going to breathe in more love. And no matter how intense these energies get, no matter what the waves are doing, I'm just going to keep breathing. I'm just going to consciously keep breathing deeply and slowly. And while you are doing this, visualize yourself starting to ground. You're dropping roots through your spinal cord, all of the nerves extending from the spinal cord, and you just drop it down into Mama Earth. And you say, Mama Earth, I'm having a difficult time being in my body right now, and I'm focusing on my breath in this moment and grounding. And you just keep breathing, keep visualizing. Let those roots go deeper and deeper and deeper until you feel surrounded with support and strength that is not movable by any event internally or externally. And after you do that, with each breath, imagine that you're breathing in whatever is coming up that may be an uncomfortable situation. And you're going to send it down through those roots. See, Mama Earth is the great transmuter of energy. And nothing goes to waste. She's going to use it all. There is a goddess, her name is Matangi, or Matangi, M-A-T-A-N-G-I. And she is a goddess who's capable of taking what others have discarded as trash, taking something that maybe once was toxic, and transmuting it into something that's beneficial for all beings. To me, the story behind her capabilities is that of being able to transmute. you are having more intense energies come up for you than you are used to, that's great. You know why? Because you get to practice not only grounding, not only developing a stronger connection with Mama Earth, who is supporting each and every one of us to have this life experience, but you are also learning to manage your internal world detached from what's happening in the external world. To be a spiritual empath is to feel things maybe more strongly than other people feel things, and to be able to take it and work with it. You know, I grew up in poverty, and because of that, I can walk in my kitchen and just start grabbing stuff out the pantry and the refrigerator and the freezer and make a meal out of maybe 3 ingredients, and it's something different all the time. And I don't have to think about it. I don't really have to plan. I just go to grabbing stuff. It's just this innate, intuitive ability that I now have, but that was nurtured in me from not having. So I know we are in in a phase where it's trendy to talk about who's toxic and what's toxic. But let's look at the other side of that coin. Well, is there anything else that I can do with what I perceive to be toxic? Do I have to avoid it? Do I have to run from it every time? Or can I learn how to work with it and be unmoved? Once an empath becomes empowered, it's because the universe has given you so many times and opportunities to have this experience and practice. Let life be an experiment. Don't let life be serious all day, every day. That's what stresses us out. Tell yourself, I'm just going to experiment with this. I'm probably going to go to work, and I'm probably going to have my boss say some stuff to me that I do not need to be dealing with. But I'm going to proactively choose how I'm going to respond. And by doing that, I'm retaining my power. I'm not going to give my power away. If I know I'm stepping into a situation or a conversation or a place and there's potential for it to go south, well, I know that because it's meant for me to proactively create a plan and how I'm going to deal with it if I get triggered. And you're going to be proud of yourself just for strategizing how to be in the line of fire instead of waiting till the fire comes. Being proactive stops us from being reactive. Now, speaking of the earth, I had a conversation with nature today. The plants, the vegetation, the trees. And as I was driving down the street, I saw trees I had never saw before. Looked like they had been set on fire. And that tree is an evergreen tree. And I know that these trees are very resilient. And as an empath, I felt like it was the feeling that I get when I see somebody hit a baby deer. And the baby deer has died. It's too late. It's nothing that can be done, but it doesn't hurt any less. It was that kind of feeling. My emotions and my feelings are going deeper in how I experience empathy. And I told the trees, I said, I'm sharing this message with the world, whoever will listen to me. I said, why are you showing me this? There are millions of people around me. It seems nobody else is paying attention to it because I've mentioned it and brought it up, and most people ride past you and don't even notice that you look like you have been set on fire. You look like a tree in the end of autumn, ready for winter in the middle of summer. What's happening? And they said, the heavy metals that's been sprayed on us, it has absorbed into our trunks and our roots through the ground, and the amount of intense heat we're experiencing, it is burning our roots. But we're standing, nevertheless. We're still standing. And that tree said, I want you to do the same thing. I know you feel like the world is just going down in chaos, and that there's toxins and fires and disasters and all types of biological weapons. And I know that you care, because if you didn't, you wouldn't even be having this conversation. You wouldn't have been able to observe. This goes back to observation. And you wouldn't have been able to connect with me telepathically for me to tell you what's happening. I said, okay, all right. What can I do? The tree said, I want you to let everybody know who has the ability through their open third eye to see the unseen, to see what's happening in the spirit realm. I want you to tell them it is their duty to visualize what they want to see. So the next time you look at me, see me green again. Woo! Y'all, I'm riding down the street crying, because that hit me. That hit me in place. I don't know that I ever felt that like that. That hit different. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You want me to see you green? What would be the purpose in me doing that? Don't you need water? Don't you need some soil? Don't you, need a specialist? It's like you're trying to deal with this in the physical, but this is a spiritual battle. I said, oh my goodness, you're right. And so much happening in the world, I get caught up in what my eyes are perceiving. But what my eyes are perceiving should not matter. It does not matter. Edit in real time. I'm getting rid of the word should. I'm not going to edit and take this out. What matters is what my mind's eye is capable of perceiving. I said, I'm going to see you green every time I ride past here. Thank you for letting me know. And the tree said, I want you to start seeing yourself green. Yeah. That's why I'm still standing. You see, because I see myself still green. I know what's happening to me. But I'm using the power of choice and perception. The power of perception. And I'm seeing myself green. And I realize that a lot of us are dry. The fires of life has just blazed. And it's been difficult for us to connect with our water in a healthy way. To connect with your internal sprinkler system. Where you shower down compassion and love when the critical thoughts get turned up. To see yourself green again. See yourself healthy. To see yourself young. To see yourself thriving financially. To see yourself building relationships with people who are going to respect your boundaries. They won't get offended. They may even honor boundaries that you haven't even set. They may say, no, I'm not gonna come over right now. You just got home from out of town. I'll wait. You get you some rest, and when you feel up to it, you let me know. Them type of relationships, you see yourself green. See yourself in situations where you are evergreen. But those of us who notice things, maybe you notice Mandela effects. Maybe you notice when something is off with the sky. Maybe you notice ships in the sky, stars masquerading. They're really ships. Maybe you notice every ache in your body. You're noticing these things so that you can perceive them differently. Thoughts are the consciousness of cause. Thoughts become things. Things are the consciousness of the effects of the cause. So what we see is a direct effect of the way we perceive, the way we think. A lot of us are dehydrated, not just physically, but we haven't nourished our garden, our mind. Our mind is dry. It's suffering. It's not being nourished. And there's no shame in that. Because a lot of us were not allowed to self-care without being called selfish. A lot of us were scapegoats, if you know anything about narcissism. So, things were blamed on us. So much so that at some point we started taking responsibility for everything happening in our world. And that's the birth of becoming codependent, not having a healthy love attachment. So here in my city, I was told that they have been having conversation about painting the trees green. And I thought to myself, okay, is this like a celebration of something? I just, I kind of just started to think about reasons why that would even be a conversation before the city council. And it dawned on me. Well, if people start to notice what I've been noticing and they don't know the power of perception, we could have a very large panic. The whole population could just go into a panic. The trees are dying, the grass is dying, my bushes are dying. Animals aren't doing what they naturally and normally do. And we could have, a lot of chaos ensue behind that. But to paint the trees green, to cover up the brown, we do it with our grass, right? You get the grass sprayed green right after winter, so it's giving the appearance of being healthy. And the tree spirits reminded me, like, yeah, that's what y'all do. When stuff ain't healthy and when stuff ain't right, you find a way to paint it. You find a mask to put on. You find a way to cover it up. Cover girl. Cover girls. Right? Cover boys. And you hide behind paint and polish to give off the veneer that everything is okay, but maybe it isn't. Can you be okay when you're not okay? Do you have to hide when you're not okay? Do you have to fake smile all day, every day? You know? Do you really have to tell people you're fine when they ask you how are you every single time? Can you liberate yourself just a little bit and be okay with saying, today is a tough day. I'm sure I'll get through it. So to paint the tree is a symbology of what we have done. And we're being taught how to work with the realm of cause, the law of attraction. We're learning how to use our thoughts and not allow our thoughts to use us. We're learning how to get our thoughts to follow us instead of following the thought. You have a thought, okay, you are unworthy of the love that you desire because you're codependent, you're needy, you're clingy, you're detached, you're avoidant, whatever it is. If you allow your consciousness, your physical body, your energetic body, your emotional body, your mental body, your astral body to follow that thought, what other energies are you connecting with on that radio station? And if that's not somewhere you desire to be, find a way to shift out of that broadcast. So don't allow the effect to get you hypnotized. You are supposed to be the cause of the effect you desire. So as we are learning to be the cause and not the effect, to wield our thoughts, to wield our emotions, because you even can, start to teach your emotions how to follow you. Like, okay, I've been following you for most of my adult life. You go follow me. Well, where are we going? We're depressed today. That's all right. We're going to go in here and we're going to get our essential oils and some of Campson's potion, and we're going to get us some candles, and we're just going to do some things, keep our hands moving, use some creativity. And eventually the depression, it'll subside. But I just want you to follow me. Come on, depression. Come on. We're going to go in here and take this spiritual bath. Come on, depression. We're going to go in here and walk, on the treadmill. Come on, depression. Let's go stretch. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy. Because depression, let me tell you, depression is stubborn. Depression does not want to have to do anything it don't want to do. And you just let depression know, I understand. But you can trust me. Come on. And just develop a new dialogue between you and different aspects of your emotional body, your emotional experience. Another thing that is very useful right now is making a list of the things that you've been putting off, whether it's regarding your body, regarding your environment, maybe straighten it up a little bit. So make a list. If your shoulder's been tight, your back been achy. I know for me it's been my neck. Like, oh my goodness, I wake up with these neck pains, and I'm like, tune into that. Do a Google search. Get on YouTube and look and see, like, what can I do to help my neck feel better? Go get a massage. These things matter so much because your temple needs care. And because we are receiving light energies more intense than we ever have before, your temple is going to need some upgrades. So pay attention to what your body is telling you. One of the worst things that I found to be something that I know was produced through traumas that I experienced was ignoring my body. I can work 8 hours and still try to cook dinner, still try to wash that load of clothes, still try to make sure I make those phone calls, check my credit score. I'm trying to fix my credit. Might be a good idea for y'all to look at that too. Finances is not really my strength. Like, I'm good with money, but when it comes to credit and business credit and IRAs and crypto, it's not my strength. But, I have all of those tasks. Those are things that I would like to improve upon and grow. And so if you know that, okay, these are some things that would be helpful for me to pay attention to, make a list. If you can make the list before Mercury retrograde, even better, because when Mercury goes retrograde, let me tell you, I have a hard time organizing my thoughts. Everybody is different. Maybe it don't affect you that way, but that's how it affects me. So you want to do that and just do the best that you can to give your body whatever it is your body is asking for. This is the highest form of self-love. Oftentimes we have disagreements and conversations that go sideways that are confusing as to how it went sideways because we entered into the conversation with a tight body, tight shoulders, tense backache. Like when you got that stuff going on, it is so easy for you to just follow them emotions and follow those negative thoughts. So tend to your temple. All right. You are the third temple being rebuilt. It's time that we act like we know. Drinking plenty of water, imperative. A lot of us, especially those of us who are highly empathic, we absorb so much from our environment. You want to make sure that you're flushing. If you work, maybe you have certain times of the day where you drink plenty of water, where you can get to the bathroom. So working that in helps. Those herbal teas you've been talking about, it's time to pull them out. I know comfort food is so comforting, but growth don't happen in the comfort zone. So have you one last comforting meal, and then get on your herbal teas, Start juicing. Get some smoothies back going. Get some raw vegetables in your body. For me, it's been animal protein, actually. I'm anemic, and sometimes I have low iron, and trying to get it from plants has become difficult, to say the least. And so it's different for everybody, but everybody's temple needs something different. It's like no shame in it. We're coming out of the duality and the polarity, the polarized way of being, and my way is right, your way is wrong. Like, we're all learning and discovering things new. This is not the same earth that we were on. And with this next full moon coming up, if I'm not mistaken, it's in Pisces. 2 fish swimming in two different directions. We are really about to see polarization like never before. You don't want to get caught up in it. Okay? If you listen to me, you're being called to create unity. So you don't want to allow anything to divide, okay, you from your values, your beliefs, your dreams. You will see it, but remember, you are the eye of the storm. You're not going to allow yourself to get swept up. You know how to find the center, find your center. Meditating. Start off with 5 minutes. Check out the meditation course. I have a 10-day meditation course. Because, some of us do have commitment issues. If it's any longer than that, it might be difficult to commit to doing it. Or you buy the course and you never get started. I speak from experience, people. But when I finally dig in there, it feels so good to take that time out for nourishing my mental health, nourishing my ability to be balanced so that I'm not polarized, I'm not stuck in black and white thinking, I'm not stuck in duality. And all of these things are the effect of trauma. You're learning how to be the cause. The more people that we have meditating, the more our power of perception will manifest in the realm of effect. And then we will not live in effect to everything else that is happening and all of the reasons we have to be fearful. It's like, no, I'm choosing love. I'm choosing love. I see what's happening, and I believe that love is going to always succeed. And that black and white, we can do that one. Okay, when it comes to love, you can always, okay, love always. There are a few things that always overcome, that are always victorious, and love happens to be one of them. So I believe this is the totality of what I wanted to say. I'm going to say one more thing that I feel kept coming to me, and that was this. Whatever you are observing, be sure that you are choosing a thought pattern that steals your emotions. Oh, my goodness. My sleep just has been so disturbed, y'all, but we go get this intuitive guide in, nevertheless. But you just want to make sure that you are nourishing your mental health, your mind, your center. If you don't know where that is, or what you love, or what lights you up, or what brings you peace, what makes you laugh, what makes you smile, it's so easy to forget these things, especially for those of us who experience narcissistic abuse. It's so easy to not know. We can get overly focused on what causes us to feel bad that we can't remember what makes us feel good. I'm giving you permission to make a list of things that make you feel good just for you. This Virgo season is about you loving you and showing up for you. And I got to say, it's helpful to be okay with however others respond by the new you showing up in that new me stay energy that I be talking about. When I say namaste, new me stay, you're commanding the new you to stay put. You're like, I'm not letting you go. I worked too hard to create you, new me. I need you to stay. Okay? So use the power of your words. Use the power of your perception. Use the power of your emotions. Allow them to be your servant and not your master. All right? Now, if you would like to work on self-worth, I have an OBEBE challenge. It's only 7 days, and it is juicy. Them journal prompts in there, let me tell you, them journal prompts open you up so much that even after the first day that you journal it, the days after it's like a domino effect, a butterfly effect, just ripples. And things just come to you, and you're like, oh my goddess, look how much clarity I'm receiving. And with that clarity, you want to make sure that you manage the way that you react to it. Alright? Now, y'all, I got challenges, courses, chakra camps, inner child healing camps with a free inner child healing ebook. I have the 3D Matrix Detox course that's for those of you who love ceremonies and rituals, and meditations and mirror work and shadow work and candle work and working with crystals. Like, that's all there. I laugh at myself because sometimes I feel like I'm creating too many things. Here we go. But I enjoy living in the realm of cause, not living to be the effect of negativity. So it is from my heart to yours. That does light my heart up. And no matter how much work it is, I feel so good when someone else can experience transformation in their life. And shout out to Daviana. Hold on, let me do my shout outs. Hold up. There's no way I'm getting off of here and I'm not going to do the shout outs. Hold on. Hold on. Because I wrote down, that was the only thing I wrote down. I wanted to make sure I channeled from my heart today. But I wrote down to make sure I shout out the people who have just been, y'all been crushing it. Like, y'all have me waking up in the grand rising like, oh, you need to get on, honey. Come on now. Get to it. Get to it. Get to it. The new earth is calling. What are you going to do? What are you going to choose? Are you going to stay stuck in this energy, or are you going to be a creator? That's what you told me you wanted to do. My identified self just like, come on now, baby. What we going to do? What we going to do? And I'm like, I don't want to. I just kind of want to stay in bed. And it's just like, okay, well, you know what that's going to create. All right, so it's up to you. But shout out to Daviana. Shout out to Indigo. Shout out to Sunstorm. Shout out to Crystal. Like, y'all crushing it. Like, shout out to Marie for joining the OBEBE challenge. Like, we are here to be peace creators. We are here to live in the realm of cause and not effect. So I want to thank you all for joining me. And I'm going to make sure that I put links in the description. And just scroll through. It's kind of like going to spiritual Costco. Just shop around and see what's on the website that you love. Oh, and shout out to Taisha as well. Taisha, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm about to get to you now. But I love y'all so much. I hope that this lifted your vibrations. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all see them numbers. Y'all see the algorithm. Help your girl out. I be working so hard, and I really don't be attached to what I get in return. But I tell you, I know that more people that we invite to this shared experience, like, the tree's just going to be like, we appreciate y'all. And maybe we can have a little bit of that ancestral wisdom, that ancestral intelligence to become the cause of the effect known as artificial intelligence. Not gonna get in that. I'm not gonna get in there right now here. That all of that right there, that talk that y'all like, that truth seeker talk, that's on Patreon, okay? Because I got in a little trouble. Maybe that's why my numbers look like they do, but it's okay because it is what it is, and I am who I am, and you are who you are, and we are all arriving, and nothing will stop us from thriving. Namaste, New Me Stay. Peace, one love, Ashe.